today we're going to start a story. So it's a narrative text, and it has an orangutan in it as well. So we're going to be thinking about some of the information that we took from this book and how it's helping us with this thinking here in this this book. So as fiction readers, when you're reading, in your fiction text, that your job as a reader is to really start figuring out, who's in the story and what's going on in the story. So that's what we're going to take on today in our reading. We'll figure out, who those characters are in the story, what they're like as people, from what they say and what they do and how they interact with other people. And one of the things that we'll also think about is, how when characters are doing things in books, we have to start thinking about what motivates them. Like, what is it that causes their characters to make their decisions that they make in their story? So we'll be thinking a lot about that as we work through this book. It's called AHMAD'S Journey. So we're just going to get... It does have an orangutan in it, doesn't it?
And it has a boy and a little baby orangutan. The rainforest, a flower. I think that's fungi.
Lots going on there.
Oh, I could see a fungi.
I can only see like a bird in the back.
You mean?
So are you already noticing a setting for this story?
The rainforest.
Okay.
The setting is the rainforest.
All right. So what I want to have you do, so let me give you some thinking work as you start into it. You're going to read these first few pages, kind of get a sense of what this story is, what's going on, who our characters are, all that sort of thing. So when you get finished, make eye contact with me, and I'll know that you've finished the reading, and then go back and think about the things that you want to talk about. Okay? So enjoy your read.
Like this part when it said, I heard one of the farmers say that if the orangutans kept destroying his crops, he would have to shoot them. So like when I read that, my eyes are like, whoa, that like, cause that was in the story too, like in this one.
In our nonfiction?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think about that? I mean, you said you're just like, whoa. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I really felt bad for them because they needed food and stuff. So like the farmers just get mad because the orangutans eat their food. Well, it's kind of their fault because they destroyed some of their land. So they should at least pay them back with some food.
Oh yeah, like I'm just like growing the crops and just letting the like orangutans like come and eat it instead of being mad all the time.
Okay.
And it's not really like a kind of problem because they're just animals like any other animal would eat a crop and then leave. So I think that it just happens often more than orangutans do.
So let's pause for a second and say, so what's going on in this story?
In this story, what's going on is that two orangutans, a mother orangutan and her baby, are starving and looking for food. And then the farmer stops them from eating their food. So they scare her. And the next time she comes, she'll shoot her and the baby.
So are those the main characters, the orangutans?
No.
So who are our main characters? Ahmad and Rainy. So Ahmad and Rainy. So what's going on with them? How's all this situation with these orangutans coming up?
Because Ahmad and Rani don't like that like when Ahmad said that he wanted his family to help them, giving the food to the orangutans. Ahmad's dad said no, so Ahmad got mad and he thought that it wasn't fair. He thought that it was mean. They should have got food too.
So can I take you back to a couple of spots? Because this gets really tricky. This is the hardest part of a book to me. The very first few pages. 4 or 5 pages, because you're kind of dropped in the middle of a story, right? And you got to kind of figure out what's going on and who the characters are and how they're feeling. And look at how did Ahmad and Ronnie react when the dad says this very first line? I saw a mother and a baby orangutan in the village this morning.
Ahmad and Rainy looked at each other in surprise
So why do you think they were surprised?
because they saw a orangutan and an orangutan baby come in their village.
Did they hear their dads come in and talk about this all the time? Or was this
No.
like something new?
That was the first time.
First time this has ever happened, right?
Orangutans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and
If this, you can go.
Go ahead.
I just have a question. You can go.
Well, pose your question. It might connect in.
Well, if this is like the first time that this has ever happened, then why would they want to, like, shoot or kill the orangutan?
So, Sam, how do you think that Ahmad's dad is feeling when he talks about this starving orangutan?
I think he feels sad and really wants to help them, but on the other side, Rainy's dad doesn't want to help him because he's saying that can't happen.
So
Oh, no.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Rainy's dad does want to help because it says we must help. Why don't we feed the orangutans?
So Rainy's dad, the dads are saying this is a real problem for these orangutans, and they know what's going to happen to the orangutans if they keep coming in the village, right?
the
do you-
farmers are gonna shoot them.
Ah, so you think their dads want that to happen?
No.
No. And then so now, and like you said, now Rainy's stepping up and she's saying that can't happen, and she gets all upset, right? Interesting. All right, so let's keep going. You've already figured out kind of what's going on,
Why
your
are there,
characters.
Like 5 stars or
There's these little 5 little stars right here. Let's see if we can figure out. Let's read a little bit more and see if we can figure out what those little
Maybe it
stars
means
mean.
continue.
Let's see. Okay, go ahead and have a read.
Is it on the-
Just 8 and 9, and then we'll talk. Could be. I don't know. So we'll read 8 and 9, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
Wait,
So just
9
read.
doesn't
Just read. I know, but you have to read the picture. So just read 8 and 9.
How?
You just. That means you think about it. You read the picture.
Okay.
So I heard some people going,
It's the orangutan's point of view because it said right here.
Yeah.
She turned, scurried away, and disappeared into the safety of the rainforest. Because it said over here too. She must be starving. She looked thin and weak. I think I startled her because she took off straight back into the rainforest.
So you're thinking that this part where the dad, Ahmad's dad, was talking is this, just from the other point of view. Interesting. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think about that?
It also talks about the shooting part, probably like the last paragraph.
Uh-huh.
The
What are you
5th
thinking?
one, just as she was about to venture, like when she heard the noise, she was probably startled, and I think it was the shooting, probably.
Oh. Ah. Now, was there a shooting? Had a shooting happened yet?
No.
No.
Not quite yet, but it's
like-
just that noise. Yeah,
When
some
she's-
noise. Yeah. Now, so you were wondering about these stars here.
Yes.
What are you thinking?
I think that it means that there are like 5 important parts that you need to know.
Well, they put these little 5 stars here. What happened when we turned the page?
We continue. Oh,
That's what I
they're,
said.
we're talking about like 5 things.
Well, there's
that-
5 paragraphs there.
Yeah, but like they were talking about the
30% of
things.
the rest of the 5 paragraphs. There is.
And it might not be that 5 is the most important thing, but one of the things an author does sometimes is they use this to signal that we're still in the same chapter, but something's changing. What changed when we turned the page?
The point of view.
The point of view. What was the other clue that our author gave us for how now it's the orangutan's point of view?
Because it was like italicized.
I think is the writing. I think that it like even though the writing changed, I feel like that it points out how the orangutan feel instead of how they feel, because it says right here that they were right there in front of her, easy to collect and easy to eat, but she needed to try harder to get more in order to feed her baby.
So here's a couple different ways our author's given us clues that something different is happening. So it's not just the story continuing in the same way. So as readers, you noticed that, and that's going to help you to do that. Our author gave us some clues so that we didn't just think this is just more of the story of just from Ahmad and Ronnie and Rainey's point of view. Okay? So, go ahead. What are you thinking?
But like, what if the 5 stars are just like, first the story was talking like about things, but like, what if the writing changed because they were like actually like going into how it happened?
It could be, because authors use those types of techniques differently, so it could be. But you just know something's changing, and it alerts your brain to notice something.
Do you know? I think I just found this out, but I think the writing or the font changed because it's who's talking in the thing. So like
The narrator?
yeah. So like it says right here that the people in the story, like Rainey, Amma and her dad are talking, but in here the narrator is pointing out the view of the orangutan.
Very clever, huh? Wow. So take a look at chapter 2. Do you think they'll do this all the way through the book? Take a peek in chapter 2. See if that happens again. Let's look through the pages. Oh, what do you see? Now turn the page. What do you expect to see on the next page?
5 stars. The font's changing. I knew it. Oh yeah, they keep on changing the writing.
Oh, look at this. So we get point of view of Rainey and Ahmad, and we get point of view of the orangutan as we move through this story.
There's
Interesting.
some more right here on page 23.
You noticed it? What were you thinking, Sam?
I think it's really like just like they're like telling about the book, but then here like whenever they change it, they actually go in and just like tell us more details about what really happened. Because this one it's reading.
Is it what really happened, or is it just someone else's way of looking at it? The point of view, like it'll be interesting. I'm going to leave that because I want you to see, is it that one is real and one's not? Or is it that both of them can be happening at the same time? What I want to have you guys do is continue on to reading on your own tonight. So we've got Rainey's secret here. So one of the things that you're going to find out is what Rainey does, because you said that Rainey was really upset about the fact that these orangutans don't have any food. And she stormed out and she said it's not fair. So we're going to have to see what her secret is that she uses to help fix this problem. You figured out who the characters are, a little bit about what's going on in the story. You've noticed the structure and how the authors helped us to know when we get a different point of view. So your work's going to be thinking more and more about the story and what happens in that story.